First of all, we wish Tua nothing but the best.
Yes.
We're glad that they cleared him. You know, it looks like they're clearing him to play, all of that stuff, because obviously there was real reason for strong concern. So much so, I don't like the fact that he's coming back this early. That's just me, just my personal opinion. I wish that he was out for a few more weeks. That's just me, because that's how ugly that concussion looked that he suffered a few weeks ago. I mean, and then to listen to him in a press conference, and he don't remember the hit, he don't remember being carted off, he don't remember all of this stuff. I mean, I personally would prefer that I not see him on the field for at least another few weeks. I was of the mindset he should have stayed out for the rest of the season.
As a Miami Dolphins fan and as a Tua Tagovailoa fan, I have a personal opinion as well, Stephen A. And I'm pretty sure I speak for a lot of Miami Dolphins fans as well.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Yep, we don't care what you think. You're entitled to your opinion, and we are obviously entitled to ours. But there's only one opinion that matters in this regard. And that opinion is that of Tua Tagovailoa. He's accepted all of the opinions, reports, examinations, everything from the medical experts who have actually examined him. And his opinion and his decision, sorry, it trumps yours. But as for your opinion,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
you remember when ESPN had news programming? Before First Take, there was a show called Cold Pizza. Then in 2012, Stephen A. joined ESPN, and they created this new format called Embrace and Debate, which is unfortunately morphed into the show now known as First Takes and is filled with Stephen A. Smith hot takes. Hot takes have become the bread and butter of a lot of sports programming, but none of it, and I repeat, none of it is news. It's all opinion. It's just blather from people who are paid handsomely, sometimes real handsomely, to express their opinion that has no further basis or no further substantiation than yours. Kurt Warner, a Super Bowl quarterback, recently tweeted this: "One of the most fun experiments I do. Listen to talk radio, analysts, and read Twitter. Then I go watch the tape of a game. It helps me to know who really watched the games, knows what they're talking about, and who to listen to moving forward. You would be amazed." Kurt Warner is 100% right. Most of these so-called experts are told what to say, they're reading a script, and haven't even watched the games. But there are a few who speak the truth and know how to break down film, analyze stats, and understand what's happening in the game of football. One of those people I respect is Dan Orlovsky. Listen to what he says right here about Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
Answer's Tua, because when Tua was playing, this was the #1 offense in the NFL. And since Tua has not been playing over the last 2.5 weeks, it's the 29th offense in the NFL. This was the hottest team in the league, or certainly one of them. We had people saying that they were the team to beat in the NFL. And now that he's been, since 2022 is 16-8 as the starting quarterback for the Dolphins. Everybody else is 6-8. He totally changes their football team. And Marcus Spears said this yesterday on NFL Live, and I thought it was a great point. Maybe Tua, outside of the tragedy of the injury, the fear, scary part of the injury, the reality of Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater having to play for the Dolphins might be the best thing that happened to Tua, because we saw how important he is to their football team and the impact that he has. I'm so excited to watch Tua come back. This was one of the best football teams we had in the league when he was playing.
Truthful, stat-based, and substantive analysis. When you watch these shows, notice how seldom you get this kind of information. Here's another fact-based analysis, and Dan Orlovsky just referenced it.
Thing that could have happened for Tua was Teddy Bridgewater playing. Because you really wouldn't have really known his importance. We would have kept talking about Jalen Waddle. We would have talked about Tyreek Hill. We would have talked about the mastery of Mike McDaniels and how he calls plays. And I think because of what Tua and the scrutiny that he got before he actually was the full-time starter.
He gets more credit now for the performance.
He gets more credit for the performance. Sure. He was kind of lost in all of the things that Miami had done to help him basically. But Dan, you alluded to something yesterday, the mental part of the game, right? And I tell you this all the time, and this is why I was so high on Jameis. Regardless of if it's 2 weeks being out and you're going through concussion protocol, there are things you can see by not being active.
Sure.
Right? And I've talked to players a lot. There are things you learn, you get better if you're really intentional about it when you have to watch your football team play. Operation standpoint, Tua's strongest suit since he was at Alabama was his accuracy. And accuracy is at a premium for this football team because of run after catch.
Right.
And that is why this offense is being able to be ran like that. I believe Tua is a level up of quarterbacking than Jimmy Garoppolo with the same type of things that Jimmy Garoppolo has been off.
Notice how Marcus Spears spoke at a football intelligence level far above that of Stephen A. and far above that of a former player like Keyshawn Johnson. Did you see Keyshawn in the background of that clip? He had nothing to offer. He has had nothing to offer on ESPN for quite some time. He must have been one of those so-called diversity hires because Keyshawn hasn't had anything substantive to add to any discussion for quite some time on ESPN. And he actually sounds stupid compared to some of his associates. He doesn't belong on the same panel with guys like Orlovsky and Marcus Spears. And then there's another show I watch which is called Pardon the Interruption. It's hosted by two sports writers who bring a more couched analysis to the game of football. Here's what they had to say about Tua Tagovailoa's return to the field.
Which returning quarterback will have the biggest impact on his offense? Dak Prescott, Mac Jones, or Tua Tagovailoa?
This is surprisingly easy, Tony, for me to answer Tua. Because the Miami Dolphins, in the time that he was out, when he was in there, they could score. And they were 3-0, and then he gets hurt, and they go like 16 points, 17 points, 16 points, and they can't. They can't score. They can't win. So the answer is Tua. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys have been doing all right even without the 200 and whatever it is, $1 million man, Dak Prescott. Mac Jones, that's too early to tell there. It's Tua. Yeah. Miami needs him back under center. If he's healthy, he is a difference maker. Tony, there's nothing grander than the ability to score points. Believe me, as a fan of the Chicago Bears, I know and understand that. If they get Tua back in there, Tony, they can make some noise, at least in their division, if not the really tough AFC as a conference. Without him in there, I don't see what the Dolphins have. Dolphins need Tua. That's it. We're done.
Mike Wilbon was 100% correct, as was Dan Orlovsky and Marcus Spears. Tua being out for these past 3 weeks proved beyond a doubt that he is indeed that dude. The Dolphins will not win unless Tua Tagovailoa is QB1. The Dolphins can't seem to score unless Tua is under center. Those are facts, and those facts are unassailable. So for those people out there, including some Dolphins fans, who don't think that Tua Tagovailoa should be QB1 and think that Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson should be QB1, the rest of us have a message for you.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
If you like this video and you want to see any of my other videos on the Miami Dolphins, there should be 2 right here for you to take a look at. Thanks for watching. Fins up.